Hey guys, Al here, Vitalized Seed. I hope everybody's doing well. I just got back from a run today, actually. It's a beautiful day here in Ohio and the sun's shining, and it got me thinking about a word that I use often. And I kind of thought, I probably should define it, and that is photosynthesis. I think that it's useful for everybody to kind of have a review of what exactly is photosynthesis, and that's what I wanted to cover in today's video. Obviously, this diagram shows what photosynthesis is, which is basically you're taking energy from the sun. The plants are taking that in through the chlorophyll, through the green part of the leaf. The CO2 is obviously absorbed, so you see it's carbon dioxide is absorbed, oxygen is released, water is absorbed through the soil. When you have carbon dioxide and water, the water does go through a splitting process. And when that split occurs, you do have that's what ends up giving you the creation of glucose, as well as the oxygen being released. If you want to look up more information on that, look up the Calvin cycle, Calvin cycle. Goes way more in depth into what and how that's broken down. It's pretty intense with organic chemistry and redox reactions and such. But in general, what you want to know is that there's the splitting of water, carbon dioxide's taken in, and because the splitting of water, the hydrogen and oxygen are separate with the carbon dioxide, and a few other reactions in soil, you end up getting this glucose, which is used as a plant plant energy source, and then also the remainder is used as a root exudate or exudate. That's important because when you have plants that are really healthy, they're going to photosynthesize well. And when they're photosynthesizing well, you're going to increase root exudation. When you increase root exudation, you're going to increase microbes getting fed below ground. And when you increase microbes getting fed below ground, you're going to increase plant health, right? So that's why the word synergy is often thrown around in these types of discussions. So you also are going to have the increase, especially in no-till systems, and we talk about mycorrhizal fungi a lot. And mycorrhizal fungi will be able to then break down some of those root exudates, and that actually can lead to more stable humic substances in your soil. So the way fungi breaks things down is typically a very slow process in comparison to bacterial. But what you want to know is they break it down so far. It's not like where a microbe might eat something and then they defecate it out, right? And it's quick, and there's still nutrients there left, and then another microbe comes in and eats it, right? So it's very, very quick. It's just like if a cow defecates on a field, and then you have beetles come in and bacteria come in and they're consuming it, but it's they're then getting consumed, or they're then defecating, and this cycle goes on. But when fungi break it down, when the end product comes out, it's a really, really stable humic substance. And what that means is that it's not going to be broken down easily. And all of this starts with photosynthesis. So that's why when we talk about our plantings and the benefits of diversity, and we talk about structure, we want upward structure, and we also want horizontal structures. I should have said vertical structure as well as horizontal structure. The reason being is we want to absolutely maximize that every ray of sun that's coming down on a field is getting captured by some level of green leaf. So, even if you have monoculture soybeans, right, let's say they canopy here, there's going to be some sun that gets down beneath. When you have different levels and plants that are growing in between and everything, we are capturing as absolutely maximizing the amount of sunlight. And then we're going to maximize the amount of root exudates at different levels through the soil profile, because again, these are all different plant types. Some have 18-inch roots, some have shallow roots, some have roots that go sideways, some have deep tap roots, etc. So we're going to increase root exudation, we're going to increase synergies, and we're going to increase microbial systems, and it all starts with this idea of photosynthesis. Just to go in a little bit more in depth, this explains probably better than I did, but kind of how some of that's happening in the chloroplast with the sun absorbing the splitting of the carbon dioxide as well as the water. You see how they're splitting, the oxygen's getting off put, the water is coming in through the roots. So again, it starts with the sun in order to photosynthesize, and healthy root structures. That's why we talk a lot about, planting processes, soil fertility, doing that soil test so that we know that we're going to be able to have a healthy plant. Because if we have a healthy plant and we can photosynthesize well, then you're going to further stimulate a healthy plant that's going to further stimulate healthier microbes. So the real point of this video, guys, was just to kind of do a quick review. We throw the word around photosynthesis. Well, what is it? Well, it's really what drives the entire process of life as we know it. But as far as for soil health goes, what drives soil health and soil fertility, it's something to keep in mind too about when you're choosing species. We love our 1-2 system for that reason, because when you plant your nitro boost into your carbon load's cool season annuals. Now you could leave it grow, and your clovers and things are going to continue to do very well. But by planting that fresh nitro boost into that carbon load, nitro boost is our summertime mix. So you have your Sudan grass and your sorghums and your beans and your cowpeas and labs and things. These are warm season annuals. These are plants that want to get out of the ground. They want to grow quickly, want to shoot roots in deep, fast. And they want to reach up and get that sunlight. So that's going to create a really fast photosynthetic energy capture and root exudation that's happening, versus cool season annuals that had been planted that are now in the middle of summer. Let's say if you're not going to plant the summertime annual, you're just not going to get that stimulation of microbial life below ground, because, well, a lot of those are going to be life cycling out. Your ryegrains and things, they're going to go to seed head and they're going to fall over. They're just simply not going to be capturing sunlight and photosynthesizing like they would in the fall when they're trying to grow, or like your summertime annuals, like in our nitro boost would in the spring. So something to keep in mind. One of the very many benefits of planting that summertime crop is further stimulating microbial systems and taking advantage of the wonderful sun and photosynthetic energy capture. Hopefully you guys found that interesting. If you like this stuff, please share, follow along, and subscribe. And check us out, vitalizeseed.com.